Daily Roundup 4/28's BIP update, the ABC Hulu event, last week. Thought on Golden Bachelor. Mel Owens. Carolina speaks out on TikTok about BIP, Idol's Top 14 show. You are listening to the Daily Roundup here as part of the Reality Steve podcast. I'm your host, Reality Steve. Thank you all for tuning in on this Monday. Got a lot of Bachelor Nation stuff to go over. We're going to talk about Bachelor in Paradise coming up very, very soon. We've got the Golden Bachelor that I have. I should have mentioned this last week, but I just want to bring it up. Throw it out there. Let me know what you think. Carolina has spoken on TikTok, and apparently she's not going to Paradise. We'll read her message, and I've got some thoughts on American Idol's Top 14 show last night, and we'll get to all that momentarily. So let's start out with Bachelor in Paradise. Last week I told you they were going to Costa Rica to film this year. New location, first time. They have not done it in Mexico. In the previous 9 seasons, they were all in Mexico, so we know they're going to Costa Rica. That was officially confirmed when Hulu had their event last week that a lot of people went to, And I went looking for this, so I guess I can't technically prove it. But I could have sworn about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I got an email asking me to attend that Hulu event. And then obviously, when you delete an email, at least in my mailbox, it disappears. But I think they hit me up again afterwards, and I'm almost 99% sure that I had gotten an email to attend that Hulu event that talked about a lot of shows coming up and all that. And I just deleted it because it was in LA. I wasn't gonna fly out there just for an event. But honestly, for what I do, and everyone does their own thing, whether you have a podcast, whether you have a YouTube show, everyone does their own thing, and no shade at anybody who attended that. But that's just not me. I don't need or care to go to events where a bunch of Bachelor people are going to be. It just doesn't help. I know where I stand in this franchise, and I almost think Hulu had no idea what they were doing by sending me an email and inviting me, because I wouldn't have been welcome there. It just wouldn't. Plus, I just would have shown up by myself. I don't know any of these people that were there. I've maybe spoken to a few of them online, but I just think it would have been really weird for me to be at that event. It just didn't. It didn't fit me. It didn't fit my brand. And like I said, no shade to anybody else, but there are some people that cover this franchise whose life's goal is to befriend everybody that is in this franchise. And it's just not for me. I don't care if I become friends with somebody. That's great. And I do have friends in this franchise, but it's not my goal to constantly hang out with them, constantly post with them, constantly say, hey, look at me. I'm doing this. It's not for me. And I understand there are other people that do that, but that's them. That's their brand. That's what they choose to do. But anyway, what was I getting at? Oh, so it was officially announced. They made it official that they're gonna Costa Rica. And I had told you last week that people were gonna be leaving this past weekend. And for me, I just forgot to look at a freaking calendar. Because from everything that I was told people are leaving right at the end of April, beginning of May. For some reason, I thought the end of April was this fast weekend. So I could tell you right now, contestants are leaving this weekend, and filming starts this weekend. This upcoming weekend. So, if I'm not mistaken, I know of a few people that are leaving Tuesday and Wednesday for Costa Rica. So obviously you gotta give them at least a day or two for them to shoot all their headshots and do all that. Get them all situated out there. So filming will begin, Friday or Saturday in Costa Rica. We don't know what place it's at yet. We don't know the resort, but it seems like they're being a little, more open, about things in terms of letting people cover it. So I guess be on the lookout for that. I don't know how soon after filming starts they're gonna release the cast. But again, we know nothing in regards of what this format is going to be. A lot of new producers, a completely new showrunner who's never worked in the Bachelor franchise before. All we know is there will be contestants there, and there will be golden contestants. We have no idea if they are completely changing it up, partially changing it up, keeping it somewhat the same as it always been. but adding some twist to it. We just don't know. Later on this week, as I start hearing more, hopefully, I will tell you the names that I am hearing that are going. But once again, when I release the names, it doesn't mean that, oh, these are the only people that I know are going. Well, actually, that's what I am gonna do. I'm gonna just tell you the ones that I know are going versus there are others that are gonna be going. So basically, when I put it out there, I just don't want it to be, well, what about this person? It's like, look, I'm just saying these are the ones I know. It doesn't mean that the person you're asking me about isn't going or is going. I just haven't heard either way. So, eventually, this is one of these things where, because this show is a little bit different than The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, at least in the past seasons, because we know people come filtering in and they are staggered into the casting. What if they change it up this year? What if there's no staggered people being brought in? I don't think they're gonna do that, because that's kind of what separates Bachelor and Paradise. But you never know, because we have no idea. They don't say anything about this show ever in terms of going into it. So once I hear more names, I've got like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I've got like 13 or 14 names of people that I know that are gonna be on it. But again, I don't know if they're gonna be original cast. I don't know if they're gonna be staggered in. I don't know when they're gonna be arriving. But just people that I know that are gonna be on the show. And a lot of them, there's no names on this list that are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that person was going. You know it, it's not gonna be it. I haven't heard there's not any name on my list that I've heard that's like, wow, didn't see that one coming. And there's gonna be a couple that fill that role. So just keep that in your head. They're leaving the middle of this week, and filming will start this weekend down in Costa Rica. And hopefully, we'll get more information. But while this show is a little bit different, spoilers usually come out during filming. And I will just keep you updated on anything I hear. And I'll let you know. I wanted to mention something about the Golden Bachelor, Mel Owens. I'm on Courtney's podcast. I think she's posting it today or tomorrow. But I wanted to mention it here because she brought it up to me, and I forgot to mention it last week. And I just want to throw this out there. I've got nothing against Mel Owens. I don't know the guy, but a quick Google search clearly tells you something very basic about him. Like I grew up in Southern California, Mel Owens played for the Rams, the LA Rams, from 1981 to 1989. Once I realized who he was, and I heard the name, and it said, oh, he was a former linebacker for the Rams. I was like, okay. I kind of remember the name. Like he wasn't like this guy that I watched all the time on Sundays and was like, oh, he is my favorite player. But once I heard Mel Owens, former Ram, is the next Golden BSer, I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of remember his name from the 80s. It's 30 years ago. He's not gonna immediately jump off to me. But what I wanted to say about Mel was this a quick Google search. We don't know much about him other than former Ram got into law afterwards, and now he works with athletes who sustain injuries and are looking for compensation, stuff like that. But the one thing we know about his personal life, other than the fact that he's got 2 boys, I believe they're both in college or fresh out of college. He obviously is divorced, and 2 things about the divorce. He was married for 25 years, but his wife is also 20 years younger than him. I'd say that's kind of a big deal, because even though we've only had 2 golden seasons, Gary's Golden Bachelor Jones, Golden Bachelorette, every single contestant that they put on that show competing for Gary's love and competing for Jones's love was 60 years or older, except for Kelsey's dad, Mark Anderson, but he was 59. So, they try to keep it. There's a reason they call it the Golden Bachelor. It's because everybody on the show is in their quote-unquote golden years, which I guess is 60 or over. We don't know the cast of Mel's women yet. We're not going to. He's probably not filming till July, just like Gary and Joan did. It's gonna be a while before they start filming that show. A couple months. We don't know. Are they going to change it up? I think you would ruin the whole golden aspect if they cast a bunch of the late 40s or early 50s women. Because that wouldn't be the Golden Bachelor now, would it? He would be golden because he's 66, but I'm just putting it out there. I don't know anything about Mel Owens. Maybe he's the greatest guy in the world, and maybe this guy has had done a complete 180 since his divorce. But this guy was married for 25 years. And doing my math, 66 minus 25 is 41. Which means if he was 41 when he got married and he's 20 years older than his wife, she was 21 at the time, and he was 41. All I'm saying is this, just throwing it out there, which is my opinion. I'm gonna find it hard to believe that this guy is interested in 60-year-old or older women. I just am. I don't think that's a far out there take either, considering the guy had a wife 20 years younger than him, and he married someone in their early 20s when he was in his 40s. So I don't know, but maybe they're going to cast women in their mid to late 40s. I think that would do the show a disservice, and I think a lot of the fan base would be turned off by that. I don't think. This show wants to play into the Hollywood stereotype that older men just want younger women. I mean, they had their first Golden Bachelor, Gary, who was 71 at the time, and wasn't Teresa the one he got engaged to and married to 72? Like it's not like Gary. Whatever you might think about the guy kinda stuck to it. I just don't get the impression that Mel Owens is interested in 60-year-old women. I guess we'll have to see. It's hard to convince me when he was married to someone 20 years his junior at the age of 41, and hell, that's me doing the math now. He didn't just get divorced last year, as far as I know. I don't even know when the divorce took place. So wait a second. If he got divorced 3 years ago, that means he got divorced when he was 62. 25 years from 62 puts him at 37. And if he was 20 years older than his wife, that puts her at 7. Okay? I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but at the best, or at the worst, he was 41 and she was 21 when they got married. And now I'm supposed to believe this guy's interested in 60-year-old women. Not saying he couldn't have changed. I'm just saying personally, I don't know if I believe it. I guess I gotta watch this guy in action. I gotta hear what he says. I haven't even heard him speak yet. Really? I just think that this probably isn't the greatest precedent to be setting for your next Golden Bachelor.